Homeward Bound, written by Ellen G. White.
I must be about my Father's business. The harvest is ready, the laborers are few. We must be about our Father's business. Jesus is the way. Let us work for the Lord.
The Great Controversy. November 7th. Vindication of God's character. Father, the hour has come. Glorify your Son, that your Son also may glorify you. John 17, verse 1. But the plan of redemption has a yet broader and deeper purpose than the salvation of humanity. It was not for this alone that Christ came to the earth. It was not merely that the inhabitants of this little world might regard the law of God as it should be regarded, but it was to vindicate the character of God before the universe. To this result of his great sacrifice, its influence upon its intelligences of other worlds, as well as upon men, the Savior looked forward when just before his crucifixion he said, "Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out. And I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all unto me." John 12, verse 31 and 32. The act of Christ in dying for the salvation of mankind would not only make heaven accessible to men and women, but before all the universe, it would justify God and his Son in their dealing with the rebellion of Satan. It would establish the perpetuity of the law of God and would reveal the nature of the results of sin. From the first, the great controversy had been upon the law of God. Satan had sought to prove that God was unjust, that his law was faulty, and that the good of the universe required it to be changed. In attacking the law, he aimed to overthrow the authority of its author. In the controversy, it was to be shown whether the divine statutes were defective and subject to change, or perfect and immutable. When Satan was thrust out of heaven, he determined to make the earth his kingdom. When he tempted and overcame Adam and Eve, he thought that he had gained possession of this world, because, he said, "They have chosen me as their ruler." He claimed that it was impossible that forgiveness should be granted to the sinner, and therefore the fallen race were his rightful subjects, and the world was his. But God gave his own dear Son, one equal with himself, to bear the penalty of transgression, and thus he provided a way by which they might be restored to his favor and brought back to their Eden home. Christ undertook to redeem mankind and to rescue the world from the grasp of Satan. The great controversy begun in heaven was to be decided in the very world, on the very same field that Satan claimed as his.
I must be about my Father's business. The harvest is ready, the laborers are few. We must be about our Father's business. Jesus is the way. Let us work for the Lord. Join us tomorrow for another devotional reading by God's grace. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought his angels.